my name is Karen Michelle. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. So today I'm going to talk about Eugenia Cooney, and this isn't a cry for her to get help or a video where we're going to go into detail about what she used to look like and what she looks like now. This is a video just me giving my opinion from my perspective and what I've kind of seen throughout the years of following her. I will talk about what other people have thought, what other people have said and suspected. Again, this is all alleged. I've never talked to her myself. This is just speculation from the internet. And the reason for this video is because I want to give you guys a different perspective of Eugenia Cooney's situation, because I feel like a lot of people look at her situation and just look at it from a perspective of like, this is what's happening and why is nobody helping her, when it's really more of a complex situation than that. She might not just have an eating disorder, she might be suffering from other mental disorders as well. Same goes for her mom. Her mom, might be suffering from other mental disorders. Her whole family might have issues. Like, we don't really know what the core issue is, but it's obviously not just an eating disorder, and so I'm trying to give you guys a different perspective on that. Before I talk about Eugenia Cooney, I do want to say something real quick about the way I look right now and my channel and stuff like that. So if you want to skip to the Eugenia Cooney, here's the timestamp. I want to talk a little bit about my face. So if you follow me or you're a subscriber, you know that I usually do voiceovers and then I put visuals or little clips, edits into the voiceovers, and they usually come out pretty good. But if you edit yourself, you would know that it takes a lot of time to do that, especially since most of my voiceover and edits are done on my phone. So I'm having to screen record and do all this other nonsense, and it just takes a lot of time. And I admire and envy people like Rich Lux and Peter Mon. They can just get on camera and flow, if you get what I'm saying. Like, they don't need to do a whole lot of editing. They know what to say really quickly. And I admire that and I envy that. And a lot of the reason why I haven't been going on camera and showing my face is because I felt like I wasn't worthy enough to go on camera unless I had makeup on. And not just makeup, but a full face and my hair done. And the reason that I didn't have this confidence that I could go on camera without my makeup on was because in the first 3 months of doing YouTube, somebody had went to a video where I was doing a makeup tutorial, and they went to they went and took a screenshot of me before I had applied my makeup and kind of like posted it on Twitter, and was like kind of making fun of the way I looked. And it was kind of like insulting to me, because I was thinking like, man, you took the picture of me without makeup on, but you sure didn't add the picture of me with makeup on. Thanks for that. People on the internet are awesome. What bothered me the most, I think, about this picture is that they were right. That is the way I look most of the time. Like, this is the way I look 95% of the time. Me with makeup on, that's still me, but it's me like 5% of my life. And most of the time, if I do my makeup and I come on camera, I had only done my makeup for a video, because I'm usually making videos at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, that's just how I am. I just thought to myself, and I said, for 2019, I'm going to do a lot of things to make myself look better, to be healthier, so I don't feel so insecure when I come on camera. But the number one thing I'm going to do is not let anybody dictate whether or not I'm going to post a video. And by that I mean I'm not going to not make a video because I don't have a full face of makeup on. And a lot of the times that's what happens. Like, I want to make a video, but I don't end up making it because it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I don't want to do a full face of makeup just for a video. And I know a lot of people do that, but let's just be practical. That's just stupid. And so here I am with no makeup on. I don't care if I have a double chin. I don't care if you can see the crusties or the yesterday's makeup on my whatever. I am over avoiding making videos because of the way that I look, if that makes sense. Like, this is how I look. Sorry guys if I broke the screen on whatever the heck you're watching on, but I'm going to try to improve on it though. And no, not by plastic surgery, by weight loss. So Eugenia Cooney. I've been following her for, man, I want to say like a long time, like at least since 2012 maybe, I don't know, it's been a while. And ever since I started following her, she's always looked, you know, sickly, anorexic, whatever you want to call it. We're just going to say anorexic. She's always looked that way. And, you know, throughout the years, and you would just swear that she just kept losing weight. She just kept getting smaller. And if you really think about it, it doesn't really matter how many people have showed before and after pictures. But pretty much in the past 3-4 years, she hasn't really fluctuated a whole lot weight wise. Like, she hasn't necessarily gotten smaller or bigger. Like, she's kind of just stayed the same. And yeah, you know, sometimes there are small fluctuations, but they're not like incredibly noticeable, if that makes sense. Like, she's just always been anorexic looking, and that's just kind of it. And I feel like if she lost more weight, she would obviously die, like at this point. I just don't think there's anything there that she could lose more. I think she's been like that for a while. What I'm trying to say is, like, okay, so a lot of people think that she just has been avoiding getting help and that everybody around her doesn't really seem to know what's going on. And in this music video that came out, I think 2 or 3 months ago, Anthem for the Judged was what it was called, I think. And Eugenia Cooney's in it. And in the comment section, because the artist was getting so much hate for including Eugenia, she says somewhere along the lines of, like, Eugenia Cooney is in a journey, you know, throughout her eating disorder, and really the best thing she needs for her is support. And that is so true. She needs support from people. I think a lot of, when it comes to her eating disorder and her mental health, I think that she wants to keep private. You know, there's a lot of things about her life that aren't private, and I think that's the one thing she really wants to keep private, as well as her family life, because a lot of people have said, or rumored to have said, that her mom's an alcoholic, or her whole family's just kind of dysfunctional. I don't know if she lives on her own or with her family, but there's videos where you can hear yelling in the background. But honestly, like, that's how every family is. Every family fights. Every family has issues. Those issues can affect everybody differently, if that makes sense. You know, some families are completely used to what goes on in their household, and then some people aren't. It doesn't make it okay. Whatever's going on in Eugenia's family life, or went on, you know, when she was younger, it's obviously affected her mental health. And I think 100% she's suffering from depression. I definitely think she's suffering from eating disorder. I think she obviously has a mild form of anxiety, and I say that because when you watch her Twitch streams and somebody says something that kind of like gets her stuttering, like, I think that's a form of anxiousness.
Why do you keep yourself so small? Cause, like, guys, like, I know, like, all these people are, like, constantly, like, telling me, like, oh, like, you need to, like, gain weight, you need to do this and that, but, you know, I don't really feel like I need to and stuff, and, yeah.
She does seem to get very anxious a lot of the times when she reads a comment, or somebody like donates money and says something along the lines of, like, you're gonna die, and she's like, oh, thanks for your opinion, but
you are way smaller than 2014. Forever still, like, regardless, I don't really see why it matters. I think I'm, like, pretty much the same size, but I don't really...
She does brush it off really well. It just, the way she's so good at brushing off that just blows my mind. I also think she has a form of OCD. The OCD could definitely play into her eating disorder. Everything's out of control. That's the one thing that feels like it's in control, and she's obsessive about it. I could be wrong, once again, about all these things. Definitely think she suffers from anxiety, depression, and eating disorder, and having an eating disorder alone sucks, but when you also have anxiety and depression along with the eating disorder, a lot of the times the eating disorder can be caused by the anxiety and the depression and the stress. Once you fix that bigger issue, then the other issues can be addressed. And I think, you know, having an eating disorder is a lot like having a drug addiction, because you don't just go to rehab and get better. A lot of the times people relapse. Just because someone relapses doesn't mean that that's the end of the road, or that they have no hope again to ever go to rehab or get better. If you're familiar with somebody who's had a drug addiction, or you know anything about drug addiction, you know that it is a journey. A lot of the times people go to rehab multiple times before they actually get better. It's very rare that someone just goes to rehab once and everything's fine after that, and they never have the issue with the drug addiction again. Those situations are very rare, where somebody only goes to rehab once and that's the end. A lot of people say that when you suffer from a drug addiction, you suffer from that for the rest of your life. So you always have in the back of your head, even if you've been sober for 6 years, that you always have that chance of relapsing. I think with Eugenia Cooney, like you said, it's a lot like a drug addiction. I feel like, there's times where she does look healthier, and perhaps those are the times where she's in therapy and she's getting the help she needs, and maybe she does feel better, maybe she's gaining weight and we just don't notice. And that's another thing that could be damaging, because maybe there's times where she don't post for a couple weeks and she finally posts a picture, and she gained 10 pounds, and she knows she's gained 10 pounds, and then she goes to the comments and every comment's like, oh, you look even worse, and blah blah blah. In her head, when you see something like you look even worse, and even though that person may be saying like, oh, you look like you've gotten skinnier, in her head she's probably thinking, I just gained 10 pounds and everybody's calling me ugly. Oh my god, like I need to lose this 10 pounds. So that could be going through her head too. Now, I don't know. This is all alleged. But basically what I'm trying to say, and the message I'm trying to get out, is that Eugenia is obviously on a journey to get better. I would hope that she is, but it's not something that's going to happen overnight. And she very well may suffer from this disease for the rest of her life. There's a lot of people out there that suffer from an eating disorder their whole life, and there are times where they get better and they, gain some weight, but there are times, and a lot of the time, always having that constant struggle and that constant battle with themselves. And I think that's where it kind of like breaks off from the drug addiction. It's like, with the drug addiction, once you're sober, in the back of your head, you have the idea of wanting to do that drug again, but you're sober and you're healthy. But with an eating disorder, I think with an eating disorder, it's a whole lot easier to relapse, and it's a whole lot easier to be okay for a week and then be like really sick for a week, if that makes sense. By that I mean, like, you have times where you are eating really well for a week straight, and then, I don't know, something happens and it makes you sad, and then you don't eat at all for a week straight. I think it's a lot easier to relapse when you have an eating disorder. Basically what I'm trying to say is that, like, Eugenia doesn't deserve the hate she gets. She doesn't need to constantly have people reminding her of her mental disorder. I think what Eugenia needs in her life is support. If you're one of those people who wants to emphasize your message that she needs to get better and that she's triggering people, the only thing you could really do is unfollow her. Let her know, hey, I hope you get better, but I can't support this. I can't look at this. I can't watch this happen. I support you 100%, but I cannot condone this behavior, and you unfollow, unsubscribe, whatever it is you need to do. And I just think it's a sticky situation when it comes to Eugenia. There's a whole complex life behind the camera. I think a lot of us don't know anything about her. We may think we do, but we don't. There's no like definite answer as to what she needs or what people need to say or what needs to happen. It's just a journey. But what I'm trying to say is, with Eugenia's situation, and when the question is asked, what should we do? I think that's a question that never really will be answered. And if it was my opinion and I had to answer that question, I would just say the best thing we could do is support her, and obviously don't support her into a way where it's encouraging her eating disorder, but be supportive in a way you would to somebody that is suffering from a drug addiction and they're getting better from that. I feel like that's the best answer if you had to have an answer for that question. But anyways, that's what I really wanted to say about Eugenia Cooney, is just kind of what's going on with her and why I think she is the way she is, and that I don't think she's ignoring our pleas for help. I just think that, you know, she's on a journey and she's trying her hardest to get better. Or at least I hope she is. And if she isn't, again, she's suffering from a mental disorder, and that's just something you can't fix overnight. It's just really hard to explain to a lot of you guys that are really young and just don't understand what I'm trying to say, is that, like, there's just not an answer to everything. Even though she may be suffering from a mental disorder and withering away on camera in front of us, like, there's just some things that we can't do. Who's to say she's not already getting help and continuing to make videos on the side? I think what a lot of people want is they want her to actually go to a rehabilitation facility for people with eating disorders. I think that's what people want, but again, like, how do we not know she's already done that? I want to talk a little bit again about myself and where I plan to go with this channel. So if you listened to my rant earlier, you heard about me talking about my face and how I don't want to continue to give people the control where I don't make videos because I feel like I don't look good enough to make videos without makeup on, which I still think I look ugly with makeup on, but I don't know, I just feel more insecure without it. But regardless, whenever I said I was going to be making improvements, basically I'm going to start making videos / vlogs, whatever you want to call them, of my journey to be healthier. Whether it's cooking, working out, being more active. I'm going to try to vlog as much as I can, basically me doing what I can to change my life. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys join me on this journey. So anyways, with that being said, that'll kind of give you a glimpse of to what you're going to be seeing. And hopefully now that I don't care in 2019, if you guys see my face and as ugly as it is, you're going to see it more. So now with that being said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to me, subscribe obviously, and definitely let me know your feedback in the comments, because that's the best thing you could do to help me, is to leave comments letting me know whatever it is you want me to know. If it's that I'm ugly and I need to improve my face, you know, let me know.